Well, this morning we're in conversation with Miriam Altman, who has released a new jazz single titled The Train. It marks a bold new chapter in her evolving music journey. Evolving, very interestingly. So beyond music, Miriam is well known for her significant and continuing contributions to development economics, public policy, strategic leadership, and even social activism. And joins us now to tell us where her inspiration came from. Miriam, thank you so much for the time. This is an interesting topic, a total shift from what we normally have you on the show for. Good morning to you. What inspired this?
So, I was trained as a classical musician. I used to be in opera.
Okay.
Until I was 21.
And so everything
Just
changed
a few years
at 21.
Ago. Yeah. For whatever,
just a few years ago, correct.
Yeah,
yes.
So for whatever reason, I quit completely. Just completely.
Wow.
And but it's been pulling at me all these years. And I'm a big jazz lover. So I decided, this far and no further, I'm going to go back. So I've been, I sometimes draw analogies to sports. Like it's like I said, if I said, I'm going to do Ironman, you would say, oh yeah, go for it. Or I'm going to run a marathon.
Yes.
And I train like that.
Yeah.
I train every single day. I now have a professor at University of Pretoria who trains me. I've had coaches. I train. I have a sound recording artist. I get pushed by the musicians I work with. I'm doing this properly. I'm training like it's
Have you been doing it this whole time, though?
No,
intermittently, sort of in between, sort of in drips and drabs, and then going in officially now? Or has it almost been like cold turkey?
I stopped completely.
Wow.
But I'm a music lover.
Yeah.
I'm a person who I share, it's like a love language for me. I'm speaking about with friends. Like I share music.
Wow.
When I see something that I think someone will love. I'm a big appreciator of music. But it was like pulling you get to a point in your life, you say, I don't think I can do this kind of thing anymore.
Yes.
Because, opera I was a soprano coloratura.
Okay.
And that's a full body experience, I can tell you.
100%.
It's very physical. And I had a very powerful voice. And,
that always needs to be trained and maintained, right, as well. So if you're not doing that, kind of falls away?
Well, one of the reasons I quit was, either you're doing it or you're not. And I had other things I wanted to do as well. And the music now is a full body experience as well. I've got more music coming, by the way. That's my first song. I'm producing an album. And the way I'm doing the music, it really is full body. I'm actually sweating as if it's sports.
Oh, wow.
I can, the recording studios are cold.
Yes.
They leave them cold.
Yes.
And I'm actually sweating as if I've gone for a run.
Goodness me.
That's how intense it is physically.
But what about the experience itself? Is it also just the intensity of what the messages you're trying to put forward? Or is it really just the experience of wanting to shed your voice as much as possible to kind of get the note you want, to get the experience you want out of it?
So to answer your earlier question first, I pulled my rusty instrument out of the closet, and I hope the message to people actually is, if you do have a dream like this, it doesn't have to be music.
Yeah.
Just go for it. It's never actually too late. So
I can't play cricket now, Miriam. It's late now for me. I want to play national cricket, and I can't do that.
Okay, well, let's you know what I mean.
Yes, I get you, though.
So, the first thing I thought I had this feeling in 2022. I don't want to be on my, I don't mean to be morbid, but I don't want to be on my deathbed, and I've done all these intrepid things, live my life intrepidly, but somehow I'm afraid that I might fail at this, right? Like we all have those things.
We do.
And it means so much to me that it means more than so many other things that I just can't get to it and I'm afraid of it. And I thought, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the worst thing that could happen is I'll pull my rusty instrument out of the closet, my voice.
I love that you call it your rusty instrument out the closet, but yeah, I get that.
And maybe there's nothing there and I'll find out.
Yes.
But it turned out that there was something there.
Wow.
And so my coach at the time, multi-instrumentalist, actually I was being trained by a saxophonist.
Okay.
Like Ella Fitzgerald was trained by a trumpet player, Louis Armstrong, right?
Wow.
So his thing was, I'm going to turn you into a musician. So he believed in my project. Wow. And he is a tough customer. He was hectic with me and an incredible musician. And he believed in what I was doing. So that gave me, like, I mentor a lot of young people, and now I'm on the other side of that. It's
being
incredible
mentored, yeah.
because I'm quite a hard mentor as well.
Wow.
But I believe in the kids that
Yes.
and young people that I mentor,
Yes.
because I'll be working with someone who's self-starting and really capable, and drive them. And I realize what impact that has when there's somebody who believes in me. And this guy is like half my age.
Wow.
You know, but
Even more incredible,
so I'm getting
actually.
trained by very young people. The musicians on my album are in their 20s and 30s.
Wow.
Right? They're young people. But incredible musicians, flexible, still open.
Yeah.
Because I'm mixing up genre. You'll see when the other songs come out. I'm going to be
Yes.
releasing song by song. I'm mixing genre. I'm in jazz, but I'm not a purist in any shape or form.
Okay.
So I'm mixing it up with African rhythm, like this song. I've got
Yeah.
another one that's going to be 6/8 rhythm. I don't know if people know what I'm talking about, but.
I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, but you know, I'm mixing up time signatures and African rhythm and soul and jazz, and I'm bringing it together to create something that's going to be my lane. So the first thing is, at this stage of life, and you know, I give talks, I get paid to give talks, but literally, I have to work out, what do I sound like? Because in jazz, I've had a teacher who said, you know, Miriam, I'm not a silly person, as you know.
Yes, yes,
So-
100%.
So in jazz, you have to be silly.
Yes.
Think about it, scat.
You do.
It's crazy,
100%.
right? Think Ella Fitzgerald.
Yes.
You're making all these crazy, stupid sounds.
Yeah.
You have to be open to being silly.
Ooh, that's opened up a different you almost, right?
Well, yeah. So, and then sound is all about air. Actually, that's what makes it physical. It is like a sport. It's all about being able to do breath control and freeing up
Yeah.
to get air.
Everything from your diaphragm to the esophagus,
Yeah.
all of that.
And that's
working.
what sound is. Sound is the air coming through.
Is this taking
Right?
you away from all the other stuff, or is this just going to be part of everything now? Because the intensity with which you're doing it, it seems to
It
be...
is intense.
It's becoming a big part of your life.
It is. And I practice every day that I can.
Wow.
And I train. I just did a 2-hour class yesterday in Pretoria.
Oh, wow.
Today's Sunday, by the way, folks.
Yes.
So, because I know you'll put this on air and you'll watch it another day. But, you know, so I go to see her every time I'm in Gauteng. In the meantime, I'm having a very intense work schedule at the same time. It hasn't slowed down. So I'm working on water security right now. I'm convening this effort called the Platform for Water Secure Gauteng.
Yes.
And it's this big network of multi-stakeholder network to look at how we deal with bringing water demand down. So we work with the Metro, with Rand Water, with business, property associations, churches, ratepayers,
So
whatever.
all of that
And I'm doing
and
this,
still this.
and in Itaquini as well.
Goodness
Same
me.
thing in Itaquini, that we set up a platform
Yes.
doing the same thing.
So for your music then, where does your inspiration come from? All of those engagements, for example? Or is it just the experiences you've kind of had over the years
Yeah.
and you try to bring that out in your music?
There's a kind of, so the first thing, I'm very particular about sound.
Okay.
So when you listen to the music that I'm doing, now we're talking about music.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first thing is I seek a certain level of excellence that's commensurate with my day job.
Yes.
How I generally operate. I like, you know, some people in jazz, they might get louder and louder and louder to get intensity. I like to be very intentional with sound. So like when you listen to The Train,
Yes.
this song, the intensity comes from, I was listening to this South African cellist who's in London, Abel Salwachwe, I think is his name. He's
Yes.
incredible. And I got this idea that we could get intensity from cello. So I don't know if you listen to the song, as it goes towards the end, there's this anger, but it's quiet. It's a very local way of being angry, if you see what I mean.
Yes, I hear that.
It's I think a local cultural thing. So I'm building in not just the music, but the way of being angry. You're laying in wait, right? And the cello is like this screeching thing, undercurrent of anger. At the same time, we should be angry about like not having water.
100%.
Having said that, you know, I'm always about, so what do we do, guys?
Yes.
So I'm bringing stakeholders together. People are angry. If you want to be in Itaquini, I can show you anger.
Oh, man.
Understandable. But we're bringing people into positive action because you know
Yes.
what? At the end of the day, you got to get there.
Have to. So, when's the album coming out? Name of the album? Have you got any of that? How many songs are going to be on the album? Have any of those details?
I'm aiming for 7 songs.
Okay.
I've got 3 done.
Wow.
I'm working on number 4.
3 including The Train, of course.
Including The Train.
Yes.
We're going to be releasing them periodically.
Okay.
I think the next one's coming out in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating.
And I'm learning at the same time. So I treat each one, I don't have a music degree now.
Yes, yes.
I'm working with music degreed people.
Yes.
And learning from everybody. So each song, I was saying Yvonne has,
Indeed,
inspired the song, and I understand she was on your show recently.
She was, yes.
And she's a phenomenal lady. Right?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah. So inspiring. And she says, "Oh, it sounds like it's so easy for you." And actually, it's almost like every song is like my university course for that.
I hear that, yeah. Wow. Absolutely
learning
fascinating.
journey.
Miriam, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming into studio. I think it's fascinating, and I think the message, as you made clear to everybody, that it's never too late. It really isn't, and I think it's fascinating to have this, to go and check out The Train ultimately, and the album as and when it comes out as well, that 7-song album which we are anticipating. Miriam Altman, who, yes, we all know as a development economist, but also a jazz artist, vocalist, as well as songwriter.